I'm a former basketball player for Home Eagle. Yeah, so nice to meet you too.
Me, anytime. We're on record, everyone. Just let me know. We're on record. Hi, how are you?
It's such a good thing to have.
It's 10 o'clock, and I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Village of Mount Sterling Financial Planning Supervision Commission. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I will call the roll. Mayor Martin.
Yes.
Council President Pro Tempore Timmons.
Here.
Auditor Hunter. Here. Reverend Moyers.
Here.
Mr. London.
Here.
Ms. Ours.
Yes.
And Ms. Snyder here. It's great. We have a quorum and we have perfect attendance, and that's wonderful. Want to begin by, I think everyone has met one another, but in case not, the Village Council has elected a new president of council, so we'd like to welcome Mr. Timmons.
Well, thank you.
Here.
I think I think I'm going to have a good, positive working relationship with everybody. I've met everybody around the table, and I hope 2019 we can get a lot done.
Good. That's really as well. And I'd like to introduce Will London, who's from the Treasurer of State's office, representing Treasurer Sprague. So happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Okay. Sent out in advance to you electronically were the minutes from the meeting of December 10th. So hopefully you've had a chance to look at those. Are there any additions, corrections, changes to be noted? If not, if there's a motion to approve the minutes. I'll make a motion. Thank you, Auditor. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Timmons, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Very good. One of our familiar faces around the table, of course, is Jim Putoff, who's going to lead us in our financial reports for today. We, as you can see, we haven't met since December, so I know you're going to have a lot to cover in terms of year-end and all.
We're going to cover year-end. I've got them in order, and the first thing you can see is the bank reconciliation for the month of December. And the page directly behind it is the cash summary by fund. And if you look in the pool balances, the lower left-hand corner, you will see that they had, the village as a whole had $943,847.18 as a balance. And it does tie back to the bank rec, so you can
Lower
see.
right.
Or lower right, I'm sorry. I get back to school, right. So it's tying to the bank rec. The reconciling items that are on the bank rec are ones that have been there for the year. So once the final audit for 16-17 is done, hopefully we can take care of those. We just want to wait until that audit's done to make sure there's no other adjustments.
Can you vote on that? When I do that?
They just got another extension through February. So that's all I have. So that's the bank rec. And I do point out on this cash summary by fund, the general fund in the year was $234,533.40. It's the top right for the general fund. The other fund that put them in, Moving Ohio, that's zero balance because we did the transfer during the year to eliminate the deficit. So all their balances are positive as of year end. The next report is the revenue status report. And if you look at that, the one line that's going to stand out is municipal income tax because they've received $172,000 more than what was projected. That's if you add up the one amount down below that says capital contributions. That's when they used to separate it. You add them all together. So they've received quite a bit more. That was partially because of the program to collect delinquents. So it's a little inflated, but hey, it's helped the village.
Any idea how much of that 172? Most of it?
I haven't gotten anything from it. I did make the request and I haven't seen it.
Okay, I'm just curious.
So $49,488 is what was received for the year revenue in the general fund.
Yeah, Ms. Snyder, your question was, was that the difference, when you were asking for the amount, did you mean the amount that they had recovered from delinquent? Is that what you meant?
Well, he said that 172 more than expected. I was just curious what amount of that was.
Was the delinquent? Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted
So
to
you'll have to
clarify
wait
that. That's
I
what your
wait for
question
Rita to
was.
provide a
Yeah.
report, because otherwise there's a longer way to do it, but it takes a long time.
Okay.
And I'd add to Jim's, it's the aggressive attitude, I guess, of my fiscal officer and my water clerk, because we found that even though we had joined the program he's referred to, we had found that a lot of people that move in and move out of town don't always register to pay their income tax. They don't sign up to read it. That's like a construction company that comes to town, and they're in town for 2 weeks or a month, you know, and they have taken the attitude that when anyone moves into town, has water turned on, they also get a reader form, so that everybody that works or lives in town pays it, and that's how we've made up a considerable amount by just not overlooking, not taking, people before us just didn't take the time to go after that income tax, and these girls are. So that's where a lot of it is.
That's it for the revenue stats, unless there's other questions. And then the next report is the appropriation status. I'll point out on the last page just to show, the bottom right corner, you will see that they used 96.5% of what was budgeted. So that's a good indication that we've gotten their budget right. We know what it should be, and we have decent, we're getting good at better information than what we've had in the past. So I don't know if there's any questions. I mean, everything's in line, and they're moving along just fine. Any questions over some of the appropriations and expenditures for the year?
It's a lot better than when we first started. For sure.
Not near as much red ink on there, is
Right, right.
there?
No, not at all.
Question? No? Okay.
That's great. Good job. Very good job.
Thank you.
Year end is tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I will say that the village did file the year-end reports that closed out, and everything filed. So they're closed out and done with that. They met the 60-day filing deadline, which is the end of February, so they got that done early. And then I'm working with Courtney to update their recovery plan for 19. We're hoping the village will have that by the end of February approved. There are some changes being made. The village has had some excessive public records requests, so council's got to approve make some changes for that, to allow for that. And our auditor's office did recommend that the village hire an administrator. It's just, there's a lot of information, and we need somebody to take off Courtney and the mayor, so we let Courtney focus on the financial stuff. And so we working on changes for that, so we're trying to get all the information together for that, so there will be changes coming as we work through the recovery plan.
And that can't start though until the recovery plan is approved, or can that?
Well, if we give them one now, and then they
that point, we will have it built in, but they probably, between now and the end of the month, they're not gonna hire somebody. I think that's too quick of a turnaround for the village, but at least it will be built in.
Points you need to give, Jim?
I don't think so. That was the main topics. This is, we are working with Courtney to get that together. Just pulling information in.
Good. That's a lot of work. Thank you for that. In terms of the, I know with the year end, you haven't had probably much chance to work on it, but the report on accounting methods is continuing to.
It's there. That's not, a lot's been done with it because of all the other records requests, and let's get the
That's fine.
recovery plan and everything
Right.
closed out. So yeah.
Okay, so we'll get back to updates on that. And
Yes, so we just get the other
April.
things taken care of first.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Well, that's good news. It's good to move through that point with that. That's into it. The next item on our agenda, if there are any other questions of the financial supervisors, is the report of the mayor.
Well, I'd like to thank Jim and April. They've been a tremendous help to us. And like he said, we're advertising for the village administrator. And we've also lost a village employee. We lost our licensed one water guy. I believe we're already advertising to replace him. We hope to get a village administrator with water and sewage license. And that will solve some of our testing problems. That will help tremendously if we're able to hire a village administrator like that. The access of records request, that's kind of nonsense. She has to put up with every day. We're kind of we're moving along as smoothly as we can. We're trying to do the best we can, and I'm sure you're all aware of the issues that we have at council, prayer being one, and that's just one small problem. But these are things that we deal with every day, and we'll continue to deal with them. With water and sewer, of course, you know, the new rates became in effect, which is going to help us tremendously. We've already seen quite a difference in the first payment of those to help us with our debt payment. When it comes to it, we've caught a lot of flack over that, what the council should have done several years ago, and left us to do it this year, holding back. But those are the kind of things that we're dealing with. I got a great group of people. I couldn't ask for better people. And thank you all for your understanding. That's it.
We're the village council.
Well, as the mayor stated, we're getting progress. And the main thing I want, and we know council, that sometimes I'm hoping we can get over to the division, and we need to work forward. And that's what as president, I'm working hard to get this to look forward to the future. So many of them want to think back to the past. We're over the past. I want to think ahead, and I've always been that way. For people who don't know me, I've always been a go-getter, and I don't want to live in the past. I always want to look to what we can do in the future and help this village. And Jim here has been a lot of help, and Courtney with me getting everything started. And our mayor sometimes reminds me of a good captain of a ship. He never gives up on anybody, like a captain should. And I'm looking forward to what we can do in the future. I'm kind of good to hear the news about what we're doing here. And I think when we do get an administrator, it's going to take a lot of chores off the hands of some other workers to free them up. And so in the long run, I think I see a good outlook for Sterling in the future. Being a lifetime resident, I just hope we can work forward, look over the little tidbits of things that some people turn into moles into mountains, and can go forward into the future. And it looks like I'm going to have a great group of people to work with. And just want to thank you, and that's my report.
Very good. Very good. We've kind of gone through this in record time. Is there any other comments? Anybody that would like to?
We may have gone over this before, but with the village being in fiscal emergency, can you explain the process about how that comes out of, how they come out of fiscal emergency? Because, I mean, looking at the balances for 2018, everything's positive. Is there a certain process they have to go through?
Well, they have to do the recovery plan, show 5 years of having positive balances, no deficit. And they're on track for that. The report on the county method, they need to clear those comments in that report.
Okay.
So that's got to get done too. And like I said, right now it's on hold till we get everything else. And it's not going to be a super quick because there's policies and other.
Sure.
They've got some things they've got to implement procedure-wise, and I'd like to see a history of it being continuously done, not just we did it once and move on. So I'd prefer to see a history of them. Yes, it's part of their standard operating, so then we can have confidence. Yes, they're going to do this from here on out.
So many months.
Many months, yes. But yeah, I mean, they can say they did it, and I can see at one time, but I'm going to check over.
It's very important. Yeah, it's very important that those things be established, particularly to make sure that they're there for the
So
future.
yeah, so in 5 years, 10 years down the road, if Courtney's not here and the mayor, and new council, new people, they can at least see the procedures to follow, so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Probably looking at 19 for monitoring, if we can continue with this sort of news but we will have to monitor for a period of time. Typically, it's the Ohio Auditor State's Office who decides that this community looks like they do have it where it needs to be. And at that point, this commission will vote to request termination. And then the Ohio Auditor State's Office prepares a termination analysis, and that's the very, very final step. And there can be a gap of time within this commission saying, please consider this commission to be looked at for termination. There can be a few months within that in some cases. So there's a ways to go, but
Because we have to retest all the conditions that put them in. We'll retest all of them again. So.
Okay. It's all new, so I've never been through this before.
I won't ask the same question, Jennifer. I'm glad you did.
Okay. Well, it's on the right path, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you want to say anything else?
The only thing I was going to say is even if, let's say, all of the conditions are fixed, like you're looking at positive balances, and they have fixed all those report on accounting methods comments, we also have a duty to look at other funds to make sure they're going to be solvent. And right now our concern is the water and sewer funds. We're working on forecasts. So if everything was still good, but they were forecasting a deficit in those funds, we would have not allowed them to request release.
Did we see a big difference between December and January in the water bills? In
We saw a
delinquency?
difference. We saw a
Significant?
difference.
So are
Significant.
people holding back and saying, I'm not going to pay?
No.
Okay.
We have the normal people that don't have the money
Right.
that we deal with, but for the most part, I mean, of course, there's a lot of argument at the window, a lot of steam moving off, but that's to be expected.
But not a collective rebellion?
Well, not yet.
Good. No, that's good. We were wondering if that was going to happen. So.
I'm not ready for a revolution yet.
We have an individual who's trying to decide
just like anything else, you're going to have a few growing pains when you're going to have stuff like this, and there's going to be a few people that's going to be very negative, and it's just going to take time and more time, and I think it'll all come together.
Yeah, I would think your community would be encouraged by the year end.
I get a lot of positive when I'm out on the street. I'm at the American Legion. I'm snowing plow. I actually had 3 people stop me when I was plowing snow, and wanted to shake my hand and thank me. And it's not all negative. Most of the negative goes on her window, and I hear a lot of it. We help her with a lot of it, and I can understand a lot of them. You know, their feelings. I'm upset by the whole process myself. The fact that the people ahead of us didn't do what they were supposed to do and left it for us. I understand it, but at the same time, I explained to them, look, I have a debt that I have to pay, and you have a water bill you have to pay, that I have to pay too. So I understand it, but you know, let's move on.
Okay, well, speaking of moving on, we need to set a meeting date for next time, and we want to look at a date where the financial plan will be ready for the updated financial plan can be presented to us. So the first date we're considering is March 19th. It's a Tuesday at 10 a.m.
We're good.
Okay, well, let's aim for that then, March 19th at 10 a.m. There's no other business. If anyone would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting,
Have that motion?
anything from
Second.
Timmons? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate meeting y'all.